All right, y'all read the title. We're going to start things off by setting up the rack. That's the first thing that you do when you're about to squat or any machine or anything you do, right? Free weights, anything. So you got the safety racks and you got the bar placement. Now, if the safety racks aren't low enough for a full squat, the bar will hit it on your way down. So I got to put it on like the third ring. I don't want it to be too low either, but I definitely don't want it to be too high. So, and the difference between high bar and low bar, I want the bar to be about right there, about nipple range. And the reason why, I'm gonna show y'all from the side. I'm gonna get a little side view. That's the benefit of working out in the empty gym. I can use two different squat racks for one thing, right? So I'm gonna show y'all. Look at this part of my leg. All right. So that part of my leg needs to be at an angle. That way I can press up on the bar instead of having to tiptoe, which is very dangerous. You can trip, especially if you got a lot of weight on the bar. See how I did that? You can use your spring action instead of tiptoeing and getting the rack out like that. That's dangerous. That's very, 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 very dangerous. And I see a lot of guys doing that, putting the rack way too high. And then when they get a lot of weight on the bar, and yeah. So now I got my equipment, right? I got my gloves and I got my belt. I personally don't use a belt, whether my back hurting or not, until I get to a heavy enough weight. And I use my gloves, which a lot of people will, and I got nothing on the bar, right? And I usually start with 45 pounds on the bar, but I want to start squatting or at least trying it out with warming up with just the bar, just like I do on the bench. The deadlift I warm up with 135. The squat I warm up with 135. The bench I usually warm up with just the bar, which is 45 pounds. And this was awkward getting under it because I'm used to weight being on it. I don't feel right, and yeah, and the weight will actually help you get into depth. And I'm hitting depth, but it's like I have to almost pull myself into depth. You know what I'm saying? And depth meaning how low you're going. All right, making sure it's a full squat. You want your hip joint to be lower than your knee joint if you wanted to count in like competition or something like that. Now it doesn't have to be, but I recommend going as low as you possibly can go. And everybody different. So I put a 45-pound plate on each side, which makes it 135. 45-pound plate, 45-pound plate each side, 45-pound bar. For those who don't know, somebody gonna say I already know that, but hey, let it don't apply, let it fly. I'm gonna show y'all the difference between high bar and low bar squatting. Now, high bar, see low bar squatting, a lot of people be wondering why I'm leaning forward a little bit instead of staying straight up like that. A low bar squat, especially with weight on the bar, will force you to do that, and it's okay. A lot of people don't know that, but it's okay. A high bar squat and a low bar squat is two different things. All right, low bar squat, most powerlifters use the low bar squat. You see how my torso lean forward a little bit? That's okay. Now, if you got a high bar squat, your torso will be more straight up. You know what I'm saying? And it'll hit your legs better, hit your quads better, but you'll have more power on a low bar squat, right? So you find out which one you want to do. All right, all this is practice, man, and your experience is gonna be your best teacher. And I don't like saying that because then people won't listen to me. But what I'm listening to you for? All I gotta do is go in there and do it. Nah, you need to listen to somebody, man. So I'm doing 135. I'm only doing a couple of reps because my back is hurting today. It rained today. A lot of people, when I say my back hurting, they would think maybe I did it from bad form or those heavy deadlifts y'all see me doing. Nah, my back been hurting way before I even started lifting, all right? Everybody didn't have the same pass, all right? So I hurt when and I'm talking about the walkout right here. You don't want to take too many steps on your walkout, right? And I'm going to show you why. I'm going to physically show you why, right? You want to take about a step or two back and then squat. And I'm going to show you exactly why. So that's adding to the danger, and that's a tripping hazard, right? You could trip over your own feet taking too many steps. You want to step back with power, get your stance, and hit your squat. Breathe, you know what I'm saying? Brace, then hit your squat. Now, doing it the wrong way, I see 90% of people doing this, right? And yeah, so I see them going all the way back here. Now, the squat racks are in the way, so I can't really go all the way back as some people be going when they don't squat in this particular type of squat rack, but they be step. Also, that's a leak of energy. You burning so much energy when you doing that. If you want to squat heavy, which I'm not going heavy today, but if you want to go heavy, you don't want to leak all of your energy out on your walkout, all right? Your walkout is not, you know what I'm saying? So I'm adding weight little by little. Fun fact, 185, this is 185 pounds. That's all I could do a couple months ago, even without back pain. So 315 was my goal for the day. We're going to see if I get there. Don't go too heavy too fast. That's another tip, right? Acclimate your way up. You know what I'm saying? Time in between sets, that's very important. Listen to some good music. Mind on the prize. Hydration. Approach the bar with power like you're about to fight. Tighten up. Like I say in my bench press video I just made, 90% of your lift is before you even grab the bar. Before you lay down on the bench, before you approach the deadlift, before you grab the bar on the squat. You want to grab the bar like you about to choke somebody out, literally. All right? And I'm thinking whether I should go up or not. Whenever you see me point my finger up, that's going up. Center of gravity when you unloading and loading the plates, very important. See, I got 25 pounds. Holding it out like that, that's going to put a lot of stress on my lower back. Holding it tight like that, I can hold it all day. So you want to, don't bump your face against the bar, but you want to be close. Watch your face. You want to be close to the plate. It makes the plate feel a lot lighter than all the way out here. All right? You don't want to grab it like that. Especially when you're about to grab one of these blue plates. You'll put all the pressure on your back. These are 45 pounds. That green plate was 25. This is 45. Also, you see how I just use my legs to grab that up? A lot of people, oh, you're being weak doing it like that. Oh, and that's just showing you that you're weak. No, you got to think about it. That's not part of the lift, all right? That's 45, that's 25. All right, I'm going to show you it again. You do not want your center of gravity to be off by putting your arms way out here when you're grabbing your plates. You want to use your power. You want to use your body, all right? Save that energy for the lift. If you're wasting all that energy loading and unloading your plates, you're not going to lift as much weight. You're not going to lift as much reps if you're going for reps. You're going to put more strain on your lower back. You're going to injure yourself. Also, like I said, you want to bottle your energy up and save it for the weights. That's another reason I don't be talking to people in the gym, socializing and all that. You letting all your air out. You letting all the breath that you need to be using on the weights, right? So walking around like a tiger in a cage, that's one thing I do, especially if I'm hurting. I'm thinking, should I do it? Should I go for it? Am I hurting? Am I feeling right? And there's a difference too. A lot of people say you shouldn't be lifting if you're hurting, right? I know the difference between the stuff that I go through and an actual injury. I'm not injured, all right? This is just pain that I've been going through for years, decades, way before I even started getting serious about the gym, before I even started going to the gym, all right? The gym actually helped me with this, all right? So a lot of people will say my deadlift. No, the deadlift actually helped me, all right? Knowing when to grab your belt on certain weight, and if you're hurting, it might be at a lower weight than you will usually go for. Now, I want to grab my belt at 315. I'm grabbing it at 275. All right? And also, I'm still teaching myself how to get back into my squat, right? How you going to teach us how to squat when you still teaching yourself? Hey, it's the best time for me to do it because I'm teaching y'all the things that I'm relearning. I already know this stuff, but knowing it and doing it is two different things. I'm touching on things as I go. Also, 315 was my goal, but knowing when to hold them, knowing when to fold them, my back ain't even really that much hurting right now. Going through these motions of actually squatting is actually helping me with my back pain, but my back is feeling real tight right now. So I'm like, I decided not to lift. That wasn't a fail. That was a decision, a conscious decision. I could have got it, but a healthy fear and respect for the weights. A lot of people don't respect what I'm about to say right here. A healthy fear and a respect for the weights, living to lift another day, is very important. I did 100 days of squatting right in a row. A lot of people thought I was going crazy doing that. If you watch that series, right, I did more weight than this. I don't know about how much more weight than this, but I'm working my way back up to 400 and something pounds on a squat, a full squat, all the way up, all the way down, right? I'm working my way back to that. And I can't do that injured. Think about it. Take a second. Watch these other videos.